This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, ho there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, July the 27th, is a three-time golf major winner. One of the youngest to win a tournament. He won the 2015 Masters and could have won the 2016 Masters, but had a memorable choke job. He actually became the second youngest golfer behind Tiger Woods to win the Masters. Then he won the 2015 U.S. Open and the 2017 British Open. So this man's amazing. He's 29 years old. He's only 20. He is Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth was born in Dallas, Texas, and would play at Brookhaven Country Club. Spieth would be memorable for winning at Trump National, Bedminster, and Gold Mountain, the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship, winning it twice, joining Tiger Woods as the only two-time winner of that tournament. Before turning 18, he was actually number one. He was the number one junior golfer in the world. He would finish second at the Junior PGA Championship in 2008-2009, despite him being like 16 years old. Spieth actually got an exemption to play at the PGA Tour's Byron Nelson tournament in 2010 when he was just 17. It was the first time that the event gave an exemption to an amateur since 1995. Tiger Woods was even given one in 93. He actually made the cut, becoming the sixth youngest player to make the cut at a PGA Tour event. He was seventh after round 3, but lost on the final. Didn't do well in the final round and tied for 16th. And then he was given another exemption in 2011 when he was still an amateur. Spieth would play for the University of Texas for his college golf. Spieth won 3 events in his freshman year at Texas and helped the team win the NCAA title. He was named Big 12 Golf Player of the Year and the first team All-American. Spieth actually earned a spot as an alternate in the U.S. Open after Brett Snedeker withdrew, and took 21st. It was the lowest amateur, and became the number 1 amateur in the world ranking after his performance at the U.S. Open, and also Patrick Kentley's decision to turn pro. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a minute, if he's an amateur, why is he playing a major? You can, but you just don't get money. Spieth decided at age 19 in 2012 to turn professional midway through his sophomore year at Texas. So his first tournament as a pro was in 2013 at the Farmers Open at Torrey Pines, but missed the cut by a couple of strokes. However, he made 3 cuts in March and took second at the Puerto Rico Open. And he took 9th at the RBC Heritage. July 14th, just 2 weeks before his 20th birthday, he won the John Deere Classic on the 5th hole of a playoff between him, Zach Johnson, and David Hearn. He became the 4th youngest PGA Tour winner and the first teenager since Ralph Goddard at the Santa Monica Open in 1931. Spieth actually holed out memorably from a greenside bunker on the last hole to make the playoff. So that was amazing. With the victory, he was granted full status as PGA Tour member and eligible for the FedEx Cup, the year-end tournament. He was in 11th place. It also gave him the next 3 majors. He would be eligible for the 2013 British Open, the 2013 PGA Championship, and the 2014 Masters. Spieth would be at the championship for the Wyndham Championship, but lost to Patrick Reed. Spieth ended up tied for 4th at the Deutsche Bank Championship and was selected to be part of the President's Cup thing in the U.S. As the U.S. plays, the President's Cup is different than the Ryder Cup. The President's Cup is the best American golfers against the best of the world, non-Europeans. That's the Ryder Cup, U.S. versus Europe. He was named PGA Tour Rookie of the Year in 2013 and was actually ranked 10th on the money list and 22nd in the golf ranking, world golf. Spieth made his Masters debut in April, and shockingly, he was in the lead, tied with Bubba Watson after 3 rounds. Spieth actually was up by 2 strokes. It looked like he was going to be the youngest Masters champion in history, beating Tiger's record. Unfortunately, it wasn't Spieth choking that ruined it. It was Bubba Watson's back 9 that overtook Spieth. Spieth took second place, youngest runner-up in Masters history. He got to the top 10 in the world rankings because of that. And then he was allowed to play for the 2014 Ryder Cup, becoming the youngest American since Horton Smith in 1929 to do so. Spieth won on the PGA Tour of Australia, the second tournament as a pro. He won the Hero World Challenge. All that. However, 2015 would be a breakthrough year for him. He won the Valspar Championship in a playoff, moving in the 6th in the World Golf ranking. He took second at the Texas Open, making him number 4, and then lost a sudden-death playoff at the Houston Open. So losing to J.B. Holmes. However, on my 30th birthday in 2015, Jordan Spieth shot a 64 to be 8 under par and a 3-stroke lead at the Masters. He became the youngest player to lead the Masters after the first round. Not even Tiger did that. And his 64 was only behind Nick Price and Greg Norman's 63s for the record. Spieth would hit a 66 to have the all-time Masters record by going 14 under par through 2 rounds. The previous record was Ray Floyd in 1976 with 13 under par. And then he hit it at 2 under par on round 3 to break the 54-hole record. Spieth had a chance to break the record for best Masters score ever with relation to par, but he unfortunately had to bogey the final hole, tying him with Tiger's 97 mark at 18 under par. But Spieth did win the title. He was the second youngest person to win the Masters behind Tiger, and he was the first Masters winner to go from at the end of round 1, 2, 3, 4, and still be leader since Ray Floyd in 1976. And he was made to be number 2 in the world golf ranking. 2 months later, he won the U.S. Open, winning by a stroke over Dustin Johnson and Louis Oosthuizen. Spieth was actually in a 4-way tie for the lead after the 3rd round, but he won. But he put up a couple of key birdies and all that. And of course, this was the U.S. Open that Dustin Johnson had a putt to win the U.S. Open, but missed. And then Johnson pushed it a little too far. Well, if he had made his birdie putt, it's a tie between Johnson and Spieth and go to a playoff. But he 3-putted, but he missed, meaning Jordan Spieth won. He became the 6th player ever to win the Masters and U.S. Open in the same year, and the first since Tiger in 2002. The other 4, the first 2 majors of the year. At the time, it was Masters, U.S., then British Open, and PGA Championship. Now PGA is number 2 on the roster. But anyway, the other 4 golfers were Craig Wood, Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer, and Jack Nicklaus. He became the youngest winner of the U.S. Open since Bobby Jones in 1923. Shockingly, before the British Open, Spieth decided to play at the John Deere Classic rather than the Scottish Open, where many top-ranked players were competing to prepare for link-style courses. But Spieth somehow won that tournament. Everyone thought that Spieth was going to win the Grand Slam. Unfortunately, he finished 4th at the British Open. He was 1 stroke close of going to the playoff. He bogeying the 17th hole was not the best thing for him. He still became the number 1 world golfer, despite finishing 2nd at the PGA Championship to Jason Day in 2015. Unfortunately, though, Spieth made a few terrible cuts. But Spieth won the Tour Championship at East Lake by 4 strokes, meaning that he was the champion. He got a $10 million bonus for winning the cup. Well, he won $12 million anyway. And he was still number one. He was great. However, Spieth was trying to go for back-to-back Masters in 2016. He actually had a two-stroke lead after round one. It was taken down to one stroke entering the weekend. He led by one stroke after the third round. But in the final round, he was on fire. He was up by 5 strokes headed to the back nine. All he had to do was just play conservatively. Poof. The title was his. Unfortunately, Spieth made a collapse. He bogeyed 10, he bogeyed 11, and then he had 2 balls in the water at the famous par 3 12, getting quadruple bogey and dropped him to 4th. He did rally back to finish second, but he lost by 3 strokes to Danny Willett, of all people. Unfortunately, Spieth's collapse was just as bad as Greg Norman's collapse in the final round of the 96 Masters when he was up by 6 strokes at one time. However, Spieth didn't let that happen to him and won the DeLuca Invitational. Spieth could have been part of the U.S. golf team at the Summer Olympics in Rio, but didn't do it. Spieth was a prominent U.S. Ryder Cup person. He won the 2017 British Open at Royal Birkdale. He had tied for the lead after round one and was outright the leader after the second and third rounds. He was up by 3 strokes on Matt Kuchar, but unfortunately he bogeyed 3 times in the opening 4 holes. Anyway, Spieth and company did their job, and he put up a 35-foot eagle putt at 15, birdies on 16 and 17. He beat Kuchar by 3 strokes and became the second player after Jack Nicklaus to win 3 of the 4 men's golf majors before his 24th birthday. Jordan Spieth did pretty well for himself, struggling a bit. But this past year in 2022, he won his 13th PGA Tour title at the RBC Heritage, beating Patrick Cantlay in a playoff. So, anyway. Jordan's 2 younger siblings are Stephen and Ellie. Stephen was part of the 2017 Dallas Mavericks Summer League team, and Ellie grew up with disabilities. And Jordan said that it kept him grounded and focused, as well as keeping the game of golf in perspective. Yeah. Spieth was engaged to Annie Ferret and married in 2018, and they have a son. Spieth is Catholic and attends the PGA Bible study. So, yeah. He has a special needs sister. That's pretty nice. So, he's won 13 titles in his PGA Tour event. 3 majors, the Masters, US Open, British Open once. He has not won the PGA Championship. His best finish at the PGA has been second in 2015 and a third in 2019. So he's looking to try to get that career Grand Slam, but it's not there yet. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.